Hey, I'm Roman, and today I welcome you to an interview with a very special miniature painter. One whose style I find mesmerizing, unique, and beautiful at the same time. Let's talk with Jamie Foster from the UK.
In order to know whether you're improving or not, you need to know where you're heading. Animals make me happy. If you pay attention, you can't possibly be bored anywhere.
Yeah, we hope that you can take something out of this interview that also helps you on your journey.
I'm sure my brain will be on the questions rather than on the painting, but... I'm not a chronic paint eater, to be honest. I mean...
This interview is so long because the questions are so deep.
Yeah, these are...
How deep can you go?
Yeah.
This is...
What about just which space marine do you like or something? Yeah. I guess fundamentally I just don't think it makes a lot of sense to compete at art. So I think it drives people to paint in a similar fashion, and I would rather see more different stuff because that's more interesting to me. So the real reward of painting is to be had in the moment of doing it. To really get under the skin of what they're looking at, they have to spend a little bit of time with it.
And which is actually from the viewer a commitment nowadays. Let us know in the comments if you have anything to say about Jamie's art, Jamie's workshop, or Jamie's thoughts on some of these answers. We would like to hear what you think about the more creative approach on miniature painting, like how creativity can explode even more and be explored even more. Let us know in the comments about your experience on that topic.
Yeah.
I can only say from my perspective, if you have the chance to learn from Jamie, do it. It's not only a creative, wonderful explosion of ideas and new, fresh perspectives that you get. It's also high didactic preparation, professional way of teaching that I personally can only recommend. You will definitely benefit from having a class with Jamie.
I agree.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I think the camera is already filming us all the time.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, all right.
Checking back. We are live.
Good.
And we have good sound. That's the microphone. Okay. So don't talk over there.
Okay.
So, yeah, I will do a quick introduction and then we just go along like this.
Cool.
Hi everyone. Today I have Jamie, aka Man Painting Miniatures. Not minis, miniatures. You find Jamie on Instagram with his handle. Okay, again. Good morning, everyone. Today I have Jamie, aka Man Painting Miniatures, on Instagram with me here for a little interview. We will talk about things. And hi, Jamie.
Good to see you. Good to see you as well.
Jamie is actually teaching his premiere of painting classes here in my studio, and I grabbed the chance to grab Jamie for this interview. Yeah. Anything you want to tell before we start? We will just sit there.
Let's see. Nothing specific, but well, good to be here. Nice to talk to you as always, and interested to see what questions people have, you and other people have come out with. So, never done an interview like this before, so we'll see what comes out.
So we will also try to paint something beside it, or I'm preparing some commission work and fill some gaps. I'm pretty sure we will not focus too much on this because we will have interesting questions coming at you. I prepared some questions. There will be some regular in-depth questions that my mind came up with, and there's also 2 lightning rounds of 2 icebreaker rounds, so to speak.
Okay.
I will include them as soon as I think we need them. And there's also some questions that you guys threw at me on Instagram that I will pass on to Jamie in the end of the interview. So stay tuned. This will be long and good talk that you can listen to while you paint yourself, and I hope it's inspirational.
Yes.
All right. Let's start with the first question.
All right, cool. Yeah, let's get into it.
Who are you?
Who am I? Well, my Instagram handle's pretty descriptive, I guess. I'm a man painting miniatures, oftentimes. So, well, my name's Jamie, and painting miniatures is, well, it gets a lot of my attention. It's certainly a passion, and spend as much time as I can find on it, but outside of it, so I have a job. I'm a scientist by training.
Okay.
My 9 to 5, so to speak. I have a wife and a cat, both of whom I love dearly. Yeah, and I'm 38 years old, which is getting scarily close to 40 at this point, but still starts with a 3, so I'll hang on to that. I'm from the UK, live in the south of the UK, and yeah, I am a man painting miniatures.
Second question. When, how, and why did you start with miniature painting?
Yeah. So the when, and I forget exactly, but it was basically just before COVID happened, so 2017, 2018, something like that. And so a friend at that point introduced me to role-playing games, Dungeons and Dragons, which I hadn't done before that.
So we're actually playing Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
What character did you play?
What did I play? Yeah, I was a gnome wizard, my first character. Yeah.
I assume something like
Yeah.
that.
It fits somehow.
Okay. Nice.
And yeah, so I don't have the usual kind of, Warhammer as a teenager kind of story that a lot of people have.
I have it.
Yeah, I never really did the Warhammer thing when I was younger, so I don't have that culture, let's say. And yeah, I bought a one-off figure. It was like one of these Wizards of the Coast little plastic, maybe in a Reaper Bones figure or something like this, one of these cheap figures, and painted that. I thought, you know what, that's pretty fun.
Nice.
And it rapidly spiraled out of control from there, so...
Yeah, I mean, in the meantime, you have a very distinctive style. If I see something from you, and it's like I know exactly that's you, just because. Yeah, we talk about this later more, but a very distinctive style. With I might underline this with some photos of your work, so people get a little bit of your the feeling for what we're talking about in the full interview. And so this actually started with Wizard of the Coast figures.
Exactly, yeah. I could. I'll send you a picture of it if you want to. Stick it up on the video, see where it started. But
that would be very nice.
So my guess would be that maybe part of the reason that my stuff looks different, if it does, is that I don't have that like Warhammer culture in me. I think that's probably part of it. I was never taught how to paint
the Warhammer way.
Exactly. So yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah. And I guess part of the reason that I think I got so involved with it so quickly is because shortly after I started doing it, COVID happened, and suddenly we were all inside with nothing to do so much, so I could throw myself into it, and that's what I did without regret, and very happy that's how it worked out, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the miniature painting community can be happy that it happened to me. So that's at least what I can say. Throwing praise at you.
Yeah. uncomfortable praise. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Next question. What do you like most in this hobby? These are my questions.
That's so hard to
There
answer.
are even harder ones. Wait for it.
Okay, what do I like most?
What gives you personally the most joy out of it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's kind of different ways to answer that, I guess. I mean, one thing I like is that I find very rewarding is if someone sees my work and they get something from it. I mean, so I think engagement with an audience is super rewarding. But to answer a different way, like from a kind of personal satisfaction point of view, I like trying things that I don't see other people doing somehow. I do kind of. I'm drawn to trying to do something different. I try not to make it too conscious, like trying to force myself to be different, but I do enjoy the aspect of defying standard expectations somehow. There's lots of ideas in this head about how we can do things a bit differently, but trying to push out away from the standard rules in air quotes is exciting to me because I think there's so much room for it. I mean,
you're quite good at exploring that space out there.
Yeah, and I think I mean there's so much of it to do that I think more people that do that the better, honestly, because
I agree.
There's not enough time in one lifetime to do it all, so I mean,
that's good.
I'd like to see more of that. Basically, that excites me.
It's really good.
Yeah.
So, question answered for you, or would you like to add something? I agree on all what you said. It's like beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
To explore the unknown.
Yeah, I guess to give some more kind of specific answers. I mean, I like playing with colour in terms of, if I've got short time to sit down and paint, and something I'll do, almost absent-mindedly, but it brings me a lot of pleasure, is just to put some colours down on a palette, and oftentimes not on a miniature, maybe just on a piece of paper or on a piece of wood or just a flat surface, just get the colours. And
I've seen you working also on illustrations and paintings, kind of small canvases and such things. I think what I, from my perspective, always see when I look at your work, no matter the medium, is like you are in love with color.
Yeah.
There's
a certain, I mean, even if you don't work with a lot of colours, which I don't work with a lot of colours in terms of the number of different tubes of paint I have. Even with a small number of tubes of paint, the number of combinations of colour that you can create out of a small number of tubes is, functionally infinite, essentially. So I think there's a well of interest there that you're never going to get to the bottom of.
She's quite annoying me. Sorry.
That's right.
You hear her dancing all the time, or do you hear that?
I didn't notice it, but
sorry, apologies.
Yeah. So I mean, something I like to do is just dob out, I don't know, 3 or 4 different colours and just smush them around on the palette and see what you can get out of them,
and how they combine and play with each other.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Hey, I hope you enjoy my videos. Thank you very much for your support in watching, pressing thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. With your support, I'm able to continue what I do. If you enjoy my videos, feel invited to support me via my Patreon, where you can find additional tutorials, workflow, creative challenges, my artist diary, and tons of inspiration. Feel invited to support me as a channel member here on YouTube for €1.99 per month, or go full in and check back with my Patreon. All links below. Thank you very much for your support. Question number 4 is a quicker one. How much time a week do you spend painting miniatures?
Physically with a brush in hand and paint on the palette, I
Yes.
think that number's fairly small. Maybe on the average week, I'd say 5 or 6, perhaps. But painting in the head, there's a bigger number there. So,
And you would say that.
yeah, the brain is thinking about it a lot, and
I know what you mean.
I think, I don't know, once you've done a certain amount of physically doing it for real, so to speak, there's actually a lot of benefit in thinking it through. It's like you can fairly effectively paint in your head after a while. Like, yeah, you can kind of see in your mind's eye how a figure might turn out.
Dreaming
if you take,
color.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, I know what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
mean.
So I wouldn't like to put a number on that, but whatever the number is, it's bigger than 5 or 6.
That's good. Last question before the first lightning round.
Okay.
Question number 5. On a personal note, what are the most important benefits you see in this passion that you get out of it?
Ooh, what a good question. Time in solitude is important, I think, for me. Maybe not everybody, but time alone to think and meditate. In fact, I was talking to your studio mate Johannes about something like this last night. So I think this hobby, or this, I shouldn't call it a hobby, it's not for some people, but this type of thing, spending your time, it's almost the perfect recipe for achieving flow, like getting into something like a meditative state.
Which is rare nowadays.
Exactly, yeah. So because it's so small, you need to focus your attention on it in order to do it. So I think it's a really good way to delete distraction from your mental space. So I think it's a good thing to do for your mind. Like if you can get away from clutter, sit down, focus your attention on one thing, I think it's good training for the brain that probably benefits you in all different situations in life.
You can take what you train in miniature painting to your everyday life. So
it's like reclaiming some focus for your brain, which is hard to come by in the modern world. So that's I think that if I had to choose one, now I've talked it out, I think that's probably the one.
That's good.
The main benefit.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay. Icebreaker lightning round 1.
Okay.
It's quite a big icebreaker round. So I have 2 of these. Let's start the first one. Your favorite color?
Favorite color, yeah. I got to pick one. I mean, it's teal and magenta that are there, and I'm trying to.
You can go with 2.
Yeah.
If you want to.
All right. I mean, if I got to choose one, it would be teal, but I don't want magenta to be upset, so he's number 2.
Cats or dogs?
Say again.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Okay. Most embarrassing store you might be seen shopping at?
Oof. It's embarrassing. That's a good question. I mean, probably some online store that, maybe a more embarrassing place to look would be in my web search history rather than a physical store. I don't know if that's an answer to the question.
That's okay. We can keep it like that. Next question. What is wind?
What is wind? Well, I guess the scientist in me wants to start talking about molecules of air whizzing around. Is that the kind of answer you're fishing
Yeah.
for? Or
I'm not a scientist. My answer would have been fast air.
yeah, fast air. Yeah.
Cool. If you could travel back in time, what period would you go to?
Great question.
It's a lightning round. It's not supposed to be a.
Sorry. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna pick around 1900. I think. I know this is off topic a little bit, but I think science took a huge leap forward in that period. There's a lot of cool shit going on, so that would be cool.
Yeah, being part of that.
Yeah, I think that, like, comparatively, the last 100 years have been a bit tamer. I think there's some cool stuff going on about 100 years ago in the past. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
How long does it take you to get ready?
To paint,
Ready.
to go out.
Go out or wake up in the morning or whatever. Like,
Waking up in the morning is a process. Yeah, I'm not a morning guy generally. To get in the spirit of the lightning round, I will give the answer of 35 minutes to get out of bed and do something. Yeah.
dinosaurs or spaceships?
Spaceships. Yeah.
Nickname your parents used to call you?
Jim is the name, which yeah. I don't know, but it's a bit weird to call a kid Jim. It sounds like an old man to me now, but
Jim over here.
yeah, maybe I've grown into that name as I've gotten older.
Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
The scientist in you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the most boring thing ever?
Oof. If you'd have asked me 10 years ago, I would have said when there's nothing going on in my environment. But I actually find that quite an interesting place to be now. Because there's nowhere else to look but in here, so that's not so boring. I think boredom, if you pay attention, you can't possibly be bored anywhere.
A lovely answer.
There you
Amazing
go.
answer.
Yeah.
We are soon done with the first lightning round.
Okay.
Next one. Is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat animal crackers?
And like prawn crackers?
Yeah. Animal-shaped crackers.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
As long as they don't smile while they're doing it, I think it's fine, yeah.
Okay. Tea or coffee for an Englishman?
Coffee.
Coffee. Invisibility or super strength?
Invisibility.
Fill in the blank. Taylor Swift is?
Is almost unknown to me.
Yeah, but that's a fill in the blank. Taylor
Yeah.
Swift is almost unknown to me.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, there we go.
1 month in the wild jungle, you can only bring one weapon, axe or bow.
Axe. Don't think I've got the finesse for a bow. Yeah.
Cool. That was first lightning.
Nice, cool. That was good.
Yeah. Next one will be more intense.
Okay.
Thank you for enjoying these.
That's hard to come up with. I don't know. My habit is to talk a lot, so
Yeah. So it's hard to do this spontaneously.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I'm Roman. Thank you very much for enjoying my videos. A lot of people ask me how they can support me and learn even more from me. Besides Patreon, there's always the option to check back with my Etsy tutorials and ebooks. Increase your skill level with these in-depth workbooks, tutorials on basing, painting, and even step-by-step through my projects. Enjoy and keep on happy painting. Thank you very much for your support. Roman out. Bye-bye. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, after a little break, we are back. We had lunch and we are now back on track with our interview with Jamie. Question number 6. You teach maths at university?
Maths and physics, yeah.
Maths and physics.
Yeah.
What is your quadratic formula for miniature painting?
Well, what I love about miniature painting is there is no formula like that. So the lack of rules is one big difference between those two things. Well,
Okay.
that's what I like. Yeah.
How does Jamie's regular process look like? How do you start a project? How to get into the mood? Or
So I think normally it's there's different kinds of projects. So there's ones that,
just a second, continue.
yeah, no, that's all right. So there's the projects that are easy in air quotes, the ones that you do as a meditation. So those are just grab a miniature that excites me in the moment and put paint on it. And then there's the more involved ones that might have a little more thought behind them. And with those, that will normally start with a bunch of sketches in 2D. Then if I think it can be done with a sculpt that's existing, grabbing that. And if not, then nowadays sometimes I even try and sculpt my own stuff. Which
you started sculpting, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's definitely. I've definitely got a long way to go with that. Like, I don't feel super competent at it yet, but
Yeah, but still, you brought a bust that you sculpted to your workshop. So
it's
this is a little bit confidence here.
it is well. Yeah, I mean, I've got a long way to go with it, though. Let's say that. I mean,
But with reason, the bust is nice to paint. So
it's
please,
yeah, I agree. It's a nice bust. I won't try and say otherwise. But doing more complicated things like full figures, for example, I've not done yet, which excites me. And well,
Okay.
subjects that are not human, even. I mean, animal, vegetable. Mineral.
Vegetable.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. So, but actually, you can say that preparation and planning ahead for a larger project is important for you.
Very much so.
Okay.
Yeah. They don't.
I assume that.
Although, I guess on the surface they can look messy in a sense, or sort of uncontrolled. There's a certain aspect of planning behind that. Like it is an illusion that it looks careless in some ways. Yeah.
Good. Next question: do you work on several projects at once, or focus only at one to push that through?
Somewhere in between. So I think a sweet spot for me might be 2 or 3.
Okay.
I think with more than that, I start to feel a bit overwhelmed and not sure what I should do in any given painting session.
Yeah.
And one, I can feel constrained by it. Like if the mood isn't right, I might need something different. So, yeah, 2 or 3, I think, is a good generic answer for that. And typically I like those 2 or 3 to serve different purposes. So there might be one big ongoing one that needs a certain level of care, and then some others that put paint on miniature.
Okay. Do you sometimes kind of also cancel a project in the process and say, this isn't something I will not finish, or right now it's not the time to finish this?
Very rarely, I think. So like, I think maybe I'm a bit unusual in that regard. I think the number of projects that I haven't finished I could count on one hand, probably, like ever since I started. And I guess the reason for that, since we're talking about it, is when you hit some resistance in a project, I think often that is when you're right on the verge of doing something important, like having the stamina and the confidence to push through something. If you do that again and again, I think you break down that barrier of, like, often maybe people abandon projects at the same point and that becomes a habit. You know, if they somehow
I usually go that far and don't know what to do next. Or
Exactly. Yeah. You somehow there's a choice to be made, and you get stuck there. And maybe there's a deeper lesson to be learned there if you push through that resistance. So I try and do that, and yeah. So for that reason, I abandon a few projects. I mean, some of them don't turn out great, and that's okay. But I'll nearly always push through and finish it in air quotes. It may not be perfectly refined everywhere, but I finish it in the sense that I don't have a work in progress shelf that's ever any bigger than 3, and if it's done, it's put away, and I'm at peace with the fact that I'm not going to go back to it, and that's fine. Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. Do you see our passion as an art form?
Yeah, easy. I mean,
nothing more needed.
I don't really understand why anyone would say otherwise. I just don't understand that. Like, it's sculpture and it's painting, so.
Yeah. Do you even think if somebody just buys a sculpture from someone else and paints that, bringing in his own impression and expression out of the figure, is this also art or is this craft? There's the discussion sometimes then when it's not self-sculpted and not self-painted, it's not the complete work of the artist, you can say.
Yeah. Well,
what's your opinion on that?
So, I mean, in the question you use the word expression. So I think as soon as that word is involved, it's probably art. So I don't think art has to be like, it doesn't have to be a super deep message in it or something like this. Like if there's some essence of the person that made it in it, and that can be something very, very simple or something complicated and deep, then it's art. And craft, I would say, is craft is like technical ability, and I think, the two words art and expression are maybe almost interchangeable, like they're almost the same thing. Because if there's expression, then there's some message in it, and then that's art, maybe. Yeah.
Very nice. Okay. Who's your favorite miniature painter?
Well, hard not to give the obvious answer.
You can also skip that. I've heard answers where, like, for me, there's no favorite. I have so many favorites that I cannot name one. So
let me answer it this way. There's no one person that I think does everything the best. So, like, I think there are different things I draw from different people and appreciate in different people. Yeah, rather than name names, I guess, there's people who do colour amazingly well, there's people who do composition amazingly well, people who do textures amazingly well, all of these
technical
things.
aspects.
Yeah. I definitely admire people that can do that. I don't think I'm particularly good at it, but that doesn't mean I don't appreciate it in other people. So just to play the game of answering the question, like my ultimate miniature painter would certainly be some kind of mutant of several different people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Cool.
Sounds good. It's a hard question, I know. Live on the screen.
It is live with you sitting opposite me. It's quite hard not to.
Name 3 of your favorite artists outside the miniature world.
Good question.
I will link them up.
Yeah. So staying within visual art and not stretching it too much to like musicians and things like this. So one person whose colour work I love is a Spanish lady called Marta Nile. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone wants to look her up, it's spelled Nael rather than Nile or something. She does a lot of Magic the Gathering cards and other stuff as well. So I like her colour work a lot. There's a guy called Noah Bradley who I like a lot. So I think he does Magic the Gathering a bit as well, but Marta's stuff is mostly figurative, but it's the colour I like. The thing I really like about what Noah Bradley does is the compositions. The colour work's good too, right, really good. But he's got this knack for composition that really excites me. There's a lady called Loish as well who does composition work that I really like. I think, not totally sure about this, but I think the thing I like about the thing that's common about the compositional choices they both make is they tend to be quite curvy and movie. They have like nice fluid motion to their compositions, which draws me in. And then there's so many like traditional oil painters that I like, but just to give one concrete example, there's a guy called Connor Harrington that I like. So it's mainly figurative stuff, but he has this nice balance between abstract stuff and realism that I like. I've never seen him paint, but when you look at it afterwards, it looks like he kind of paints really quite, I don't want to use the word tight, but like realistically, and then destroys sections of the painting by like smudging the paint around or something like that, and then brings it back, and there's this beautiful like interplay between abstract and realism that balance between those two sorts of painting I think super exciting and
also influencing your style of
very much, I think it's underutilized, and I think it's certainly getting more appreciation. Like people are discovering it, and at least some people are enjoying it. So I think that's really good. But I'd love to see more of it. I think it's a powerful
tool.
Exactly. Yeah. You can draw people's eye around and affect people's viewing experience using that, and I think that thinking about those kinds of things is exciting and important, I think.
Yes, I will look them up, and I also have to look them up, and then I will link them down in the description below.
Nice.
Hey, I hope you enjoy my videos. Thank you very much for your support in watching, pressing thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. With your support, I'm able to continue what I do. If you enjoy my videos, feel invited to support me via my Patreon, where you can find additional tutorials, workflow, creative challenges, my artist diary, and tons of inspiration. Feel invited to support me as a channel member here on YouTube for €1.99 per month, or go full in and check back with my Patreon. All links below. Thank you very much for your support.
Question number 11. Name 3 of your favorite artists out of miniature world. We had this already, sorry. I might need a coffee. Question number 12. I'm a big fan of your creations, and as we have seen with 2 filled workshops on your premier teaching, many others too. So what is your general impression you receive when showing your creation to the public miniature world?
Well, I think people will appreciate that it's a little different to... I mean, I don't want to say there's a standard type of painter, but it's a little unusual, I suppose. And yeah, I think, this is a bit egotistical, but I do find it gratifying when people say, "Oh, you've got a certain style or something like this." That's pleasing to me. Like my little ego likes that.
Who does not like that?
Yeah. Yeah. So I suppose people often compliment the colour work and the unusual take on things, and well, I try and lean into it, but I don't lean into it just because other people like it. I lean into it because I like it, and it's how I like doing it. But so let me put it this way: I find it very gratifying and heartening when other people happen to like what I like. It makes me feel like, oh yeah, there are other people out there that value the same sorts of things and see the world in the same way I do, or appreciate some of the same things I do. So it's
confirmation somehow.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm not doing it to please them. So, but then if they happen to like it, then I feel connected to those people, and that's a nice feeling. Yeah.
Very nice answer. Very nice. Okay, number 13. That's the. After this, we do the second lightning round.
All right, cool.
Number 13.
Nice.
Have you? Blah, blah, blah. Question number 13. Have you entered any miniature painting competitions, and what do you think about miniature painting competitions?
Well, let's take the easy part of the question first. Yes, I have entered competitions. Not that many, I suppose. Like, I think probably 5 in my time. Maybe between 5 and 10. So I'm not a super hardcore veteran of painting competitions. And well, a little bit nervous to answer this super directly, so let me preface my answer by making it clear that I love meeting people and I love the events, and I love seeing other people's work, and I love people looking at my work. So all of that kind of engagement and interaction and community.
It's very wholesome, I think.
It's very wholesome, and I appreciate that. And so I've got a few negative things to say, but I do just want to say that all of those things are positive, and I'm not trying to take away from...
No, I think it's really important that you also... there will always be a personal perspective on competitions. I'm not speaking about the event or the event organizers or something, but I think you always take something from... people are taking different things from competitions. Some are competitive people, personalities, others are not. And you learn that by only entering a competition, kind of. And so basically, don't be too shy to answer this, like, honestly, from the heart. So
I think if just talking now about competing in an artistic practice, not the people or the event or the interaction, I don't like that, honestly. I think it's probably a net negative. Like, it's probably harmful to the art in the end. And I think there's a couple of reasons for that. So one is that I guess fundamentally I just don't think it makes a lot of sense to compete at art. Like it makes sense to compete at craft, because that's like, I think you can measure someone's ability as a craftsman.
So the skill of painting quality, like if you break down quality in terms of craftsmanship, saying how smooth gets something or how well that material of wood is presented.
Exactly.
That's something you can kind of measure.
You can measure it, yeah, exactly. So there are painting competitions that I think make sense because the rules are set up in such a way that they're measuring something objective. But to compete at art, I don't think makes any sense at all. Really, I don't understand what it means on a certain level, because
makes sense.
We're just playing basically and trying to talk to one another. So I don't think that makes sense. And so there's that kind of fundamental idea that I just don't. I mean, I just don't understand it on some level. And then there's the practical point that, so if you have competitions with rule sets, and different competitions have their rules specified very particularly or not, like some are very prescriptive and some are a bit loose.
Yeah.
But as soon as you put a rule on it, you drive everyone's painting to try and meet those rules
in a certain direction.
Exactly, yeah. So, and I think that's not what it's about for me. Like, I would rather see people do weird stuff and like, I want to see Romans painting unfiltered. Like, I don't want to see Romans painting filtered through the rules of this competition. I just want to see what you have to say. So I think it drives people to paint in a similar fashion, and I would rather see more different stuff because that's more interesting to me. So I think there's some real downsides of the competition culture, and those are my reasons for that. Yeah, of course. Yeah, just to reiterate, like if it brings people together, then that's good. But I think sometimes subtly, it's bringing people into the same physical location, but it's actually driving people apart because they're
results and the outcome of events and who wins gold, silver, bronze, and
it's like penis measuring competitions on some level.
And with penis measurement, it's important that not the length is important, but the weight.
Exactly, yeah. Okay. Penis by mass, yeah.
Not sure if I leave that.
No, you can. Optional extra for us, yeah.
Yeah, but I would actually say I do have similarities in how you think about competitions, and I think we can also agree that for a lot of people it can be something motivating, that they kind of like work to a certain date and then they are getting really motivated to push as best as they can. But I think what sometimes for the outside world, the ones who not paint miniatures, is like this behavior of competitions is just like a strange place to be. So I don't think we draw a lot of outside people into our little circles that we are gathering. Yeah. And that's what I find really sad sometimes, because it's like if it's becoming more creative, more openly, like I'm a big fan of exhibition kind of. A competition is actually nothing else than an exhibition where a gremium tells what is good and what is not in their eyes on this date with their rules. So, which is not a bad thing or something. It's like if somebody wants to go there, they usually know what they are up to. So if you enter your figures, you know what you're up to. So, but I still think in the long term, I think the miniature painting art might benefit from more exhibitions instead of competing against each other.
Yeah.
More like celebrating the art together instead of competing
Agreed, yeah.
with each other.
Yeah.
And in the end, it's a lot of people will learn on the long term when they kind of entered enough competitions and won their share. They will understand that you never compete against anyone else. You always compete against what you create here on the table.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
So what is your vision? What is your idea? What is your art? What is your voice? Kind of.
Yeah.
And this is like, this is, I think, that the most, a very good journey that every painter can go through while entering competitions.
Mm-hmm.
Without competitions, you would not understand that journey, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that there's two things you said there that like sparked a response in me. So one is that I understand is like for people who make a living from doing this, then like I think I should probably separate those as well. So people need to prove to the
World.
to their audience or whatever that they meet a certain standard. As a professional, I understand that there are different pressures on people than people who are just doing it for expression. The other thing that you said that I think there's an important point related to is to do with the motivation piece. So I can't remember exactly what you said, but it's something along the lines of people get motivated by the deadline to finish something for a competition or something like that,
or a category or whatever.
Exactly. So they use it as fuel to go and sit down every night and paint. And again, this is on a fundamental level. I think that's a mistake as well, because like it's okay to do that, but there's a more ultimate level on which the real reward of painting is to be had in the moment of doing it, like sitting down and actually enjoying what you're doing now. So when people put the prize or the motivation out in the future at this competition that's coming, they're not enjoying the doing at the time. They put it into the future, and then when they get the result, if it's negative, then that's obviously crushing and makes people sad sometimes. And even if they do get the result they want, they feel great for 10 minutes, and
not the painting itself.
Exactly, and then they're worried about the same competition next year, and their happiness is postponed into the future again. So,
impressive answer.
I think on that level, it's better to just enjoy what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was just like I was, but it also depends on personality. My personality just felt like very wholesome when you just explained that. So.
Good.
All right. Icebreaker round 2. Okay. Say a word in Spanish.
See?
Okay. Last Halloween costume you put yourself in.
I can't remember which one was more recent, but I think the most recent one was... I'm a bit of an Alan Partridge fan, so how familiar are you with Alan Partridge? Right, there's an episode where he uses materials only that he can find in his hotel room to dress up like a zombie, and he has the shower curtain is a cape to simulate skin, and he's sellotaped some screws to his fingers for claws, and biscuits sellotaped to his chest for crusty skin, and I recreated that costume. That was good fun, actually. I enjoyed that.
Okay. Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals?
Ooh, what a great question. Talk to animals. Yeah.
Dwarfs or elves?
Elves.
I'm the dwarf guy.
I just wanted a reaction out of you.
If you could push a button and make everyone in the world 7% happier, but it would also at the same time place a worldwide ban on all hairstyling products, would you push it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Fill in the blank. Batman is very important one.
Yeah, I'm nervous. Batman is mostly dark colours. Can I say that?
They killed my parents. Who's the first person that comes to your mind when you now have to send a postcard?
My wife.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tarzan, Perry Rhodan, or Conan?
I mean, I don't know who the first two are, so I'll say
Tarzan.
Oh, Tarzan. Sorry.
Tarzan,
Who was the second one?
Perry Rhodan. He's, I think, a novel figure, a science fiction figure from the 70s.
I mean, I'm showing my ignorance here. I've only really got two choices here, and I'll go Tarzan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scale of 1 to 10. How good are you at mini golf?
Well, hard 10.
Hard 10.
Hard 10. Yeah.
It's a scientist in you, physics and
I won't back down from that. And anyone who doubts it, I will.
Okay.
I will play.
Next time you're here for our class, we will have a challenge. I'm really bad at it. I'm very creative.
Okay, good.
Okay, last question from the icebreaker round. 2. Would you rather lose all your hair or gain 50% more hair?
50% more. There's not many places for it to go, but I'll go 50%
I think
more.
You would just look like an Ewok.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Lightning round done.
I enjoyed that lightning round. That was good.
Yeah, that was good. Shall we include some of the people's questions? Just
Sure. Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah.
Because I still have like 5 left of mine.
Okay.
Let's include these on the phone. So I'll check back
Okay.
with them.
Cool. I'm glad people sent things in. By the way, that's nice. Thanks for doing that to those who did.
Hey, I'm Roman. Thank you very much for enjoying my videos. A lot of people ask me how they can support me and learn even more from me. Besides Patreon, there's always the option to check back with my Etsy tutorials and ebooks. Increase your skill level with these in-depth workbooks, tutorials on basing, painting, and even step-by-step through my projects. Enjoy and keep on happy painting. Thank you very much for your support. Roman out. Bye-bye. All right. Wait a second. I need water.
Yeah, I could do some water actually. It's good call.
I'm enjoying painting a stone, waggling colors down there in the stone.
Yeah. That competition question was good.
Yeah.
Bit dangerous, but
Yeah, it's really strange how scared we sometimes are answering these. I mean, why?
I think that speaks to the problem, right?
Yeah. That's
The fact that I'm nervous to answer it is kind of telling.
Yeah.
In a way.
That's super strange. It really is super strange. And I'm filming this, by the way.
Yeah.
But I'm not using it. All right. We start with the first one. Question by It Used to Be Grey, Sebastian, who was at your painting class.
Oh, nice.
What is your favorite color and how does it taste?
How does it? It's this one here. I don't know if that's on camera, but this teal.
Oh, yeah.
This one, in case anyone cares. Cobalt teal. It tastes kind of neutral, actually. I don't think there's many additives in that. So I would give it a slurp for you on camera right now, but maybe that's
No, don't.
not such a great idea.
Colors.
I don't notice it if it gets in my mouth, so it's
Okay.
neutral tasting, I would say.
A certain Tanya is asking, what is your hair routine?
What is my hair routine? I mean, avoid getting wet as often as possible because that's a week of a damp head if it gets wet.
I think that's heavy, right?
It's heavy, yeah.
Okay. I cannot relate, you know.
There's a very nice lady in the town where I live who comes around to tidy me up when I mean, believe it or not, this is quite tidy. I had them tightened up probably 3 weeks ago, something like that. So
Mhm.
she is mainly my my hair keeper, to be honest.
Okay. Joshua is asking, what inspires you?
What a deep question.
Such a simple one, but so deep.
Yeah, that's tough. I'm gonna have to think about that for a minute. I mean, one thing that comes to mind is to understand myself a little better. So in contrast to my day job, the kind of measurement of success here is not really measurable to anyone else but you, I think. So maybe the thing that inspires me is to unearth slowly over time what I actually think and what I actually care about. I was almost going to say something like self-discovery then, but that sounds a little cheesy. But it's
Cheese is okay.
yeah. I think I definitely understand myself better and what I like more as a result of taking up this practice. So going deeper down that.
That's a nice goal of inspiration.
Yeah. And that's so it's on the level of taste and what I like to look at.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's also on the level of understanding one's psyche a little bit, like what sorts of things tend to block you and what sorts of strengths you have as a person, maybe. Yeah, it sounds a bit crazy when if it's just,
I wouldn't call it crazy.
putting paint on a warhammer model or whatever it is, but like, when you stretch it out a bit and you...
I think that the color plays the part, not the medium. In our case, like also on canvas, you can also find yourself on canvas.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Also, and if the warhammer miniature turns out to be your canvas, then it's your medium.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. I think that's right. I mean, anyone who's not tried painting canvas and has only done miniatures, I'd give them a little encouragement to try stuff a little bit outside. Like, I think there's lots of value to be had in that, and just from a technical standpoint, like you'll learn things there that you can bring back into your miniature painting. So, yeah, that's not answering the question here, but just as a tangential point, I think that's
good.
That's a good message for people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rowena is asking, what was your first miniature to paint?
Yeah, I mean, it was that little gnome wizard guy. I'll send you a picture of that because it's cool.
From your D&D adventures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Germany, we have the saying, you can think in drawers. Like if you get to know people, you quickly put them into drawers of like this is whatever left political wing or left strange looking guy over there in this drawer, whatever.
Yeah.
Tanya is asking again. Have you ever tried to fit in a drawer, painting wise or lifestyle wise?
I mean, I'm sure I have done. Like when you want to fit in with a certain crowd, I think there's a temptation to do that. I mean, if you want to be accepted,
it's kind of demanded.
Yeah. So I think maybe in moments of weakness and self-doubt, that's a tempting thing to try and do to be accepted by people. But probably in one's better moments, I think having the confidence to just be yourself is better.
So
Let me answer it this way.
Okay.
I would aspire not to put myself in a box, but
sometimes
I'm sure
you
I
find
have
yourself
done. Yeah.
in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I notice I'm in a box, I try to get out of it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It was a nice answer.
Mm-hmm.
Mikkel is asking, how do you pick a new project? What is important to you when choosing a miniature to paint?
Yeah. That's a cool question. So there's a kind of slightly pedestrian answer of if I want to play with a new colour or if I want to paint something just to switch my brain off. Like if the painting exercise is to relax, it will just be something that I think is cool. And it won't go much deeper than that, and that's totally fine. But then there's those other sorts of projects where I've got an idea I want to get out of my head, or something I want to say in air quotes. That sounds a bit grandiose, but like some idea I want to communicate. And then I'll pick the miniature that I think best serves that expression.
Like the intention and the purpose behind that project and thought and feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Like when we were talking about earlier, I think it usually starts from an idea or and that can mean lots of different things. Like, just to be clear, when I say an idea, that doesn't have to mean something very concrete, like I want to paint a man riding a rhino. Like, it can be much more nebulous than that. Much more ill-defined. It might just be a feeling, or it might even be something that's not terribly deep. Like, it might just be, I want to paint a pretty lady, or I want to paint a cool-looking fox, or whatever. Like,
Or my favorite thing to paint is orcs, and once in a while I have to paint an orc.
Sure. Yeah. So I don't like one thing I want people to take. Well, would be happy if people take away. Like, I think some people think in order to qualify as art, there has to be a very deep, meaningful message in there, and I don't think that. I think that can be the case, but I don't think it's needed for something to be arty or artistic. Just something that's nice to look at. That's perfectly good art, you know.
Yeah.
So if that's what's in me in that moment, that's just fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anders is asking, does every painting work out, or do you fail and start from scratch again?
Yes, I guess related to one we asked earlier, but just to embellish on that answer, so they certainly don't all work out as I thought they would when I started. Like, often the end result will look quite different. I probably wouldn't label that a failure because of that. I'll just say, okay, that's...
It went a different path.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
So because I do a bit of planning, if I had to put numbers on it, I'd say maybe half of them end up pretty close to where I thought they would at the start, and the rest change a bit or quite a lot. And then the number that actually get abandoned and never finished in air quotes is very, very small. Yeah.
Tamino asks, what was the miniature you spent the most time with?
If I count sculpting and painting time, then probably the one that we videoed yesterday, the Asian lady. I called her Aurora, but the one with the kind of flat backdrop and the...
So I can actually put them in here now. In this
Yeah,
video.
sure. Seems a good point to show it. Yeah. Yeah, I think that. I mean, that was one of second or third sculpture I did ever. So there's a lot of hours sunk into the like technical aspects of getting a sculpt ready to be exported for 3D printing and things like that. But I would say, I mean, there was maybe 10 hours just sunk into trying to make the mesh ready for to be sent to printing and things like that. But I don't tend to spend ages painting because it's not very refined, my painting. It's pretty rare I spend more than 10 hours painting something. I think there's probably 10 or 15 hours spent on her, roughly.
Nice.
Painting wise, yeah.
Unfortunately, Sabine, your question is cut off on Instagram. So the question actually shows me Jamie has developed a very special and distinctive style over the past years. What? So the question is cut off by the system, and I don't know how to solve that.
Could you imagine can we fill in the blank?
Fill in the blank.
Let's play lightning round for you. Fill in the blank. I don't know.
What?
I can't fill in the blank. I'm
Me
not
neither.
sure. Yeah.
Biene, apologies. Biene was last year.
I remember. Yeah.
Apologies. It's Instagram. Your question was too long.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If you want the answer, send it to me and I'll.
There you go. There you go.
I'll respond.
We have a small break now.
Cool.
You all know white reflects light, black absorbs it. Do you know how to paint black and white? Learn to understand. Learn to understand what you paint and why you paint something like it is. You can learn to paint black and white with me in my Etsy shop right now. Step up your game. I don't like ghosts. I like black more than white. With black, I can hide in the shadow. Black is no color. White is also not a color. Yellow is a color, but yellow batsuit is stupid.
Battery left. Alrighty, we are back on track with a new battery. And so, okay. Biene, I just found that the answer is, the question continues in the next
cool. Okay.
picture. Okay. Jamie has developed a very special and distinctive style over the past years. What inspired him to try a more abstract style of painting, such as the little O, for example?
Yeah. Thanks for asking that question, by the way, because that's something important here that, well, I think is important. So, I like the abstract thing because I think it invites a bit of a dialogue with the viewer of the painting. Mm-hmm. So, I have this feeling that I think making a miniature clear and readable is important. Right, so I'm not trying to go against that, but if the narrative and the story of the miniature, or what the miniature is about, is totally obvious in a 1 second glance, then there's a temptation that the viewer might see it, understand the story in that second, and then move on to the next thing. Mm-hmm. So I think this abstracty idea, the reason I kind of like it is that for someone to really get under the skin of what they're looking at, they have to spend a little bit of time with it.
Mm-hmm. And which is actually from the viewer a commitment nowadays, because
exactly,
we are served information rather fast nowadays, and nobody wants to not many want to make that commitment and look closer into what has been created.
Exactly. So I think there's a certain way of rewarding someone for spending a bit of time to slow down and look at it properly. In
I think it's also, I'm not sure, I just add this to your question, Bine. Is it also because you are also deciding your audience? Because with asking for that commitment, you are picky on your audience, because not everybody wants to make the commitment. Sorry for hitchhiking the question.
Yeah. I've never thought about it that way, to be honest. So I suppose there's one level of viewing. I'm not talking about my stuff in particular here, just anything that's got some realism and some abstraction in it. There's the kind of quick read that you get. So like the realism bits, you can you see it's a face or whatever it is. So there's that level of read you can get from stuff that's rendered perfectly throughout or stuff that isn't. So I'd like to think I'm not excluding anyone. Certainly that's not my intention anyway.
No, I didn't want this. I mean, I not meant this badly.
Okay. No. I didn't. Yeah. So yeah, I hope what it does is just reward the people that spend that extra time a little bit extra rather than detracting.
It's an invitation, so to say.
Exactly, yeah. So people that just want to look for a moment and get the rough impression, I hope they can still get that from it. And then the people who want to sit with it a bit longer, there's a reward for doing that.
Nice.
Something like that. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very good question. Sorry again, Bine, for hitchhiking it. Kevin asked, which paint tastes the best? And that question always appears.
Yeah. Which paint tastes the best? I mean, I'm not a chronic paint eater, to be honest. I mean, some taste really bad. I mean, I guess the best one is the one with lots of water in it, so it doesn't taste like paint that much anymore.
That's a great answer.
Yeah. The most diluted paint tastes the best.
Very good.
Yeah.
Last question from Instagram.
Okay.
How can I improve my miniature painting skills? From E.C. Shepherds.
Okay.
How can I improve my miniature painting skills?
I mean, in a vacuum, that's a super hard question to answer. So, yeah, without seeing this person's painting and understanding what they want to do, I can't give advice, but to say something that's hopefully helpful, I would say to that person, it's important to be very clear in their own minds what they want, as in what their actual goal is. So somehow, just hearing from someone, you need to be good at NMM, and then practicing at NMM for 100 hours, probably be good at NMM, but if you didn't stop to ask the question, is that what I actually want to be good at in the first place, then that's not actually very helpful. So yeah, I'd say to them,
know what you want to improve.
Step one, figure out what you want your painting to look like, and that's super hard. Like I'm not trying to say that's easy, but in order to know whether you're improving or not, you need to know where you're heading. Like if you don't know where you're heading, you don't know if you're getting closer to it. So
on point.
That's task number one. Yeah.
That's on point.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for all your questions on Instagram. We will continue with my last questions and check back with the battery if it's still running. Yeah, very good.
Cool.
Yeah, it's quite a long interview. That will be like over an hour.
Sorry,
that's good.
I'm yattering.
I'm absolutely fine with that.
Okay.
I just after lunch I just turned super tired for a moment,
Okay,
and then
sorry.
slowly coming out of that hole.
You tell me to hurry up if I need to hurry up.
No.
Some of those questions are. I'm thinking a lot as
Which is fine.
these questions are coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, this is good.
I'm a little bit different. I usually don't think and just vomit.
Yeah.
That's often my problem.
Well, it's honest when you. I mean, not that I'm not being honest. I just don't know what I think straight away. Honestly.
Yeah, and I think it's also for you. It's like really doing something like this for the first time.
Yeah.
Having these questions asked to you.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to kind of put yourself in the perspective of maybe before that you thought, yeah, interview no problem, but now you're having questions where you have to think about that. You don't know the answers yet because you might not have questioned yourself. With this input.
So thanks to all the people who asked the good questions because it's been helpful for me. So
we're all learning on our own journey.
Yeah, good stuff.
And we hope that you can take something out of this interview that also helps you on your journey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Last questions from my end, which is still a little bit amount of questions, but let's get them done. What makes a good painted miniature for you?
Another easy one. Well,
like really completely, you don't have to be a diplomat now.
Yeah.
Just completely from your perspective. This is important. Your view is your own.
Yeah.
That's important.
So I think there's two different answers. If it's my own miniature, then it's does it express what I wanted it to express? So I think if it's measuring my own success, that's quite easy.
Yeah.
And then if it's someone else's, I mean, the answer I'm tempted to give is that I can't measure it because I don't know what they wanted, what their intention was.
Is it maybe that the intention has to be clear or readable or?
I don't think so because, well, so if the question is, did they succeed in what they were trying to communicate, then I guess on that level, if the message I received is the message they intended to send, that's successful communication. So I think that is part of it for sure. But then, I mean, you often view art and you haven't got the person who created it there to tell you what they wanted you to get. So in a case like that, I mean, this sounds super loose, but like, I think it might just be as simple as does it cause a reaction in me? Like,
that's good.
Yeah, I mean,
this is a lovely answer to the question.
I think that is my answer, and it doesn't have to be like, a lot of the time that could be just, do I like looking at this? Is it good eye candy? Like, that's a fine reaction. I mean, some stuff isn't nice to look at, but it's still, I want to look at it because it's got something. It tells me something important, maybe. Yeah, so I think very loosey answer, but when the artist isn't there, the only measure you can apply is, do I have some kind of reaction to this?
Makes sense. All good.
Okay. Yeah, I might change my mind about that in 10 minutes, but Yeah.
Question number 15. What do you teach your students in your 2-day painting workshop?
Well.
It was Jamie's premiere teaching last weekend. He will have a second weekend workshop coming this upcoming weekend. And I wanted to know, or like in a bullet sentence, key sentence, what do you teach your students in your 2-day painting workshop?
Mm-hmm. So I think the one sentence version is that I try and give them some tools to express themselves in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 3 or 4 sentence version is try and give them a way to think about colour that allows them, so firstly to make things still look like an object that someone can understand,
Mm-hmm.
but give them a framework to think about how to make the colour expressive or like playful.
Mm-hmm.
And then a similar kind of tool, but instead of using colour, using composition. So how to maybe articulate themselves with compositional ideas.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I can say I took part in the last weekend's class and I enjoyed that very much. Even I know a lot about these things myself from teaching and whatever. Jamie's class opened up a new perspective because he's kind of approaching it from a very fresh angle, so to say, in the miniature world. So
That's cool.
I just want to state that.
Yeah, nice. Danke.
Bitte gerne. Question number 16. What was the best experience you've made in teaching your first workshop ever?
Oh. Well. I mean, it's the sum of all the little interactions that I had with people over the weekend. So to try and get it in one moment, I guess it was the end of the class when people said thank you for the weekend. That was really nice. Yeah, that felt good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Explain the word waggle.
Well, well, I guess come to the workshop for the full version, but when you see the colours kind of dancing in this kind of, I don't know how to say it.
Dancing makes sense.
Yeah, you see the colours. I think a lot of people use the word colour vibration. You know, sort of you look at a piece of an image or a miniature, and in a glance you see a colour, but then your eyes rest on it for a moment, and you see the colours kind of shimmering or vibrating or waggling,
dancing together.
Yeah,
kind of.
That dance is the waggle. Yeah,
The waggle.
the waggle.
Okay. 18. What most important tip would you give to anyone who wants to improve his miniature painting? Like almost the same like we had on Instagram, but what would be the most important tip you would give someone? You almost answered that.
Yeah, I mean, understand what you want, I guess, is I do think that's super important. I think people don't stop and ask that question a lot of the time. They kind of see stuff out there and they're like, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
And then they go after it, and then they see another thing that they like and they go after that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's totally possible to like lots of different things. In fact, most people do. Like, I definitely do.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think on some level you're setting the bar too high if you're trying to do... Like, I can't paint... I doubt anyone can, to be honest. Like, paint everything they like.
Mm-hmm.
So if your process for getting better is just, I like that, I'll go after that, I like that, I'll go after that, you're never going to arrive anywhere. You're just going to ding around all these different things that you like, and
without the focus on training on a certain aspect or something.
Yeah. And it's not like I want to take the fun out of it and like say you can only paint one way. That's not what I'm trying to say, but
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah. Somehow, I mean, painting is hard. Like, it's not an easy thing to do. So, being clear about where you're headed and then measuring your progress towards that for a while, and of course later you might change your mind, and you know you get somewhere, and maybe once you get there, it's not actually
Where you want to go.
what you want. Yeah, what you thought it would be, and then absolutely like change course and
Yeah.
start heading somewhere different. But I mean, at the risk of repeating myself, like it's almost related to the competition question. Like, if you don't know what your intention is and where you want to go, then
You cannot show it to anyone else, kind of.
yeah, you just can't measure your progress. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like going for a walk. If you haven't got a destination, you don't know if you're getting closer or not. You're just wandering about. And
True.
yeah.
What do you think about my stone waggle in this area over there?
Hold her up. Yeah.
I'm just waggling that stone all the time.
Yeah. I like the blue echo.
It's nice, right?
Yeah. Well, people can see this somewhere, can they?
Yeah.
They'll know what I'm looking at.
Maybe I'm adding a photo to it too.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
I would add some echo of the skin tones, but I still have to finish the models and whatsoever. So it's really basically somewhere in the beginning. But I like to. I'm so inspired by Paul Bonner and how he paints stones, and I mean this full composition is inspired by Paul Bonner, and his stonework is amazing. Just
Yeah.
like he's waggling so much color in these stones.
I mean, when there's so much colour in rocks anyway that there's not like
It's crazy.
You don't like you can invent waggle, but here it's there and you just exaggerate it a bit. So that's good. Yeah, it's looking good.
Cool.
I like it a lot. Good orange waggle too.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Just spending like the last half hour on that one stone part over there, which is nice.
Half an hour well spent.
Last 3 questions.
Okay. Cool.
What does a person need to be happy?
Oh man, alive. Oh man.
This interview is so long because the questions are so deep.
Yeah, these are.
How deep can you go?
Yeah.
This is.
What about just which space marine do you like or something? Yeah. What does a person need to be happy?
For me, it's sometimes painting a space marine.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna have to give me a minute on this one.
Don't worry. I waggle the stone.
I mean, I think I'm struggling with that so much that I don't think it's one thing, and I don't think it's the same thing for any one person. I think that's why I'm sitting here.
Okay, let me rephrase that question.
Yeah.
What does Jamie need to be happy?
What does Jamie need to be happy? That's not made it that much easier. What does Jamie need to be happy?
3 things. Come on, let's limit them to
3
things.
things. All right. I like learning. Let me say that. That instead of things that I need to be happy, I'll say some things that make me happy. I know it's a very slightly different question, but it's much easier for me to answer somehow.
Yeah.
I love learning, like really anything. In fact, I think that's why I like this hobby or art form so much, is because there's so many different pieces to it that you can pull on in different ways, that it's a great playground for learning, like the painting bit, the sculpture bit, the
Learning never stops, kind of.
exactly, yeah, the building bit. I think there's many more skills than anyone could ever hope to learn in a lifetime here, so that's good. I think like people make me happy. Good people, family, community, like good honest connection with people. It's important.
Yeah.
animals make me happy. There's a kind of...
I agree.
There's an honesty about animals that... I mean, many people are honest, but there's no pretension with animals. Like, they're just there in a way that...
Well put.
Yeah.
Really. That's just this morning. One of my cats brought me a dead mouse, Kaiko,
Yeah.
to the doorstep.
Yeah.
Like this size.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was like super happy, and I had to give her food. Say, yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Another one. You just brought another one 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I think you got all the family now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and yeah, exactly. I mean, you answered this question really, really well. I don't know why I threw in my mouse story from my cat.
Well,
made me sad on one hand, on the other hand, it's just like brutal honesty. That's her nature, her instinct.
yeah, exactly. There's no...
Playing or acting or something.
I mean, maybe it's because there's no... Yeah, exactly. No thought there.
Yeah.
Like, no conscious
Yeah.
trying to do something. It's just...
Should I kill Papa Mouse too when I already killed Mama Mouse? Because
Yeah.
what about the
That
mouse
question
baby?
that question wasn't in your cat's head, I don't imagine. Yeah.
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 Number 20. Question number 20. Is there a such thing as objective beauty?
Ooh. Another easy one. I think I'm going to say no, and hope you'll move on without me having to justify that any further. I'm not sure, but my gut reaction is no.
Okay, then we leave it like that.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Absolutely fine.
Yeah,
Leave it like that.
yeah.
Last question. Question number 21. What are Jamie's plans for the future?
Well, let's keep it in the painting realm, just to not make the question too unwieldy. I mean, I had such a good time this weekend that doing some more teaching in some form, if there's demand for it and people would like it, then I would like to continue doing it because I had a good time. Like I say, don't know what form that will take and quite what it will look like, but something in that direction.
That's good.
Yeah.
I can only say from my perspective, if you have the chance to learn from Jamie, do it. It's not only a creative, wonderful explosion of ideas and new, fresh perspectives that you get. It's also high didactic preparation, professional way of teaching that I personally can only recommend. You will definitely benefit from having a class with Jamie. That was the advertisement part. You have to pay me €5. No, but honestly, from the heart, this is like really. I was impressed by his first class. All right.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks. So more of that, and yeah, more. I mean, I want to strike a balance between doing the teaching thing, which I really learned that I really enjoy this weekend, and doing my own stuff. And so again, I can't. It's hard to give a concrete answer on exactly what that will look like because
time will tell.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of exciting to me that I'm not exactly sure what that will look like. If I knew exactly what it would look like, then it might not be quite so interesting to me. So if I had to guess, I don't imagine I'll stop sculpting anytime soon. I'm very much enjoying that. I think there's a certain freedom in being able to make your own 3D volume to put paint on. Like there's you can say what you want to say more clearly that way sometimes. Yeah, and then I shan't forget that I like painting, so painting, sculpting, teaching. That's the brief version, hopefully. Yeah.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah, nice. I couldn't be happier with that, to be honest.
And you almost finished the model while we did the interview.
Yeah, if you're not looking too closely.
Did you focus at the painting somehow?
No, not really.
Just like
I'm just smashing colour about, yeah.
It's really like that with interviews. It's just like, But we look very professional when we do the interview while we paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like what my subconscious has done. I'm not...
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Push things around, but... we'll see.
Jamie, thank you very much for your time and having this interview with me.
Thank you.
I think people will enjoy it. Let us know in the comments if you have anything to say about Jamie's art, Jamie's workshop, or Jamie's thoughts on some of these answers. We would like to hear what you think about the more creative approach on miniature painting, like how creativity can explode even more and be explored even more. Let us know in the comments about your experience on that topic, and keep on happy painting. That's what I always say, and I'm really happy that Jamie is taking some of his next students on the weekend on that journey too.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Painting.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for the questions, and looking forward to this weekend and hopefully more in the future. Cheers.
Bye bye. Arrivederci.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes.
There should be a piece of paper somewhere where I have all my questions written down.
Okay.
It's nice that it's not there. I will do something that I can definitely control. I will fill gaps on a commission.
Get some brushes and then I'm ready.
Don't worry.